Well, we got some key guys on defense we're definitely going to keep an eye on. Got this article from AL.com from Matt Stale. The 5 Alabama football players who could have a breakout season on defense for this season. He expects Jordan Reed to have a breakout year. James Smith on defensive line. Bray Hubbard take it over. Cam Calhoun, Nikhil Hill Green coming out at the edge. I mean, that's going to be huge. I mean, Hill Green made some magic at Colorado. He's going to make some similar magic for Alabama. But how are you feeling about this defense? Like, what's your breakdown on it, man?
I mean, we kind of had a discussion with, a few of our callers on, Alabama Crimson Tide, Collins show on Thursday nights. I definitely go check out that show on Thursday nights if you're enjoying this show as well. That, like Alabama's defense had a lot of young guys this past season, especially the secondary, and Alabama did not have an edge, a dominant edge rusher like we've had in the past. You look at our edge rushers that we've had over the past 15 years, it's an incredible list of guys that just destroy the opposing team's offensive line and sack the quarterback at a ridiculous rate. We did not have that this season. That's why Michigan, as bad of an offense as they were this past year, was able to move the football against Alabama. Like Alabama was not, slowing down teams all the way on defense. Their defense wasn't bad. Like against Oklahoma, we know that what lost the game was Milroe's pick sixes, but the defense, they played pretty well and didn't allow Oklahoma to do too much, but they still allowed Jackson Arnold to run for 130 yards. It's not good. So we need a dominant edge rusher, and we need the secondary to be more experienced. Well, one of those two things is a given. The secondary is going to be more experienced. A lot of those young guys, they're going to be, a year older this year. They've been thrown into the fire last year, so I'm assuming that they're going to be better this season. And when you look at, like you mentioned, the transfer from Colorado, that's a big addition because of the fact, Colorado, they had about 5 or 6 really good players, and the rest of their team kind of sucked. Well, that guy was one of them that was really good. And Alabama, you typically when they bring in transfers, they bring in the high quality transfer. They don't bring a lot of like depth piece. They do sometimes, but a lot of times they go for the bigger names. So I think he's a solid addition. I think Alabama's defense is in a spot where it's still going to be nowhere near as good as it was in some of Saban's best years. It's not going to be as dominant, but I do think it's going to be better than last year's. They brought in some key transfer pieces. The defensive line depth still a little shaky, but it's getting there. And I think the secondary is going to be a lot better. So I think Alabama's defense is going to be improved from this past season, but I could see them still bringing in a couple of spring portal guys as well.
Oh, yeah. It's not who we know, it's what we don't know, or who we don't know is coming on into Bama. All I can say is to those who want to come on to transfer to Alabama, come on in. You're part of the family now, good buddies. So we got the defensive line. So that's the roster breakdowns for each team, for each of the positions from Roll Tide Wire. There's outside linebacker Q Russell. I mean, what kind of name is that?
But you had Q and then Q.
Q.
Like Q was departing Q Robinson, and we got Q Russell this time.
Oh man, Q. Oh man. Oh man, we got some key guys coming on.
They should have had a guy say right on cue last year. That'd have been perfect.
Oh, there's Hill Green, one of our backups at inside linebacker. Mm-hmm. Can't wait to see him in action. For cornerback, Damani Jackson, Xavion Brown. Dijon Lee, we're going to be having him on our roster.
So I mean, you see how young the secondary is. Like, you got Damani Jackson, who's a senior, and then the rest of them are sophomore, redshirt sophomore. Like, they're all young, right? A couple of freshmen. I think the secondary is going to be better this year. It's going to be much more experienced. I foresee that group having a good 2025 for sure.
There we go. It's like it'll be fun For safety, we got Keon Sabb and Bray Hubbard.
Yeah, Keon Sabb's back from last season. Losing Malachi Moore's tough, but they have some solid players at that position.
Malachi Moore was a diva.
Yeah, he was good though. He was good,
True.
but yeah, I agree that sometimes his personality didn't fare very well.
It's like, good grief. Like, don't be throwing a fit on the side on the field. Like, don't do that. It's a bad look. That's not the Bama standard.
No.
It's just kind of like Buttercup and Blossom just telling Bubbles, they're like, hey, Bubbles, that's not the Powerpuff way. That's not the Powerpuff. Well, this is not the Bama way. Don't be throwing a fit on the field because that's not the Bama way.
We want sugar, spice, and everything nice. That's what
exactly. we want. Only on Alabama The Voice college football where you hear like over under a Gunsmoke reference, Powerpuff Girls reference, or some kind of 90s cartoon reference.
Yeah.
Or some cartoon or Western reference.
It's hilarious.
Note to self, make sure to study up on anime. That way I can learn to make some anime references.
Yeah, that probably will be all on you on that one. I don't watch much anime. I just know that Pokemon's got to catch them all. That's all.
There you go. Catch them all.
That's it. Like, you say I'm an anime fan, like, got to catch them all, man. Like, that's it.
Oh, man. Well, but in all seriousness, though, like, our defense is looking really good for this year and beyond. I mean, we got a lot of young guys, but I mean, a lot of young guys is good because, like, if they're, it shows us where we're on track for a good year the year after, where it's like 2026, we'll have more veterans on our team.
Yeah, it cycles out. I mean, it's a tough thing. Like, you have to balance out your roster. You can't just have all experienced guys because then you're going to lose them all. Like, you have to have, a mix of young guys and experienced guys. So those young guys can replace those experienced guys. And then you bring in more young guys. It just cycles itself out. The portal makes it tougher now because you're constantly losing guys to the portal that you used to not lose because guys will stay in your program. So that makes it tougher, but still you're able to bring in guys from the portal as well. So you can still kind of balance it out with youth and experience to, kind of make the best roster that you can.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be fun seeing what happens. I cannot wait to see more magic from Dijon Lee. I want to see some magical plays he's going to make.
Good. He's good.
Yeah, because it's like I cannot wait to just plop open my phone, just go on YouTube, look for the top 10 plays. We're going to see plenty of our guys from Alabama on there.
I agree. Wasn't as many highlight plays last year. I think that's going to change this season, hopefully.
Hey, who knows? Maybe one of our D linemen can sack a QB with his rear end like Khalil Mack on Aaron Rodgers in 2018. That'd be fun.
Man, we had some studs back then, man.
Just bring like Chris Berman to call that highlight.
Yeah, it'd be perfect.
Oh, it was funny when he was like, Mac back.
Oh, it's priceless.
It's like, oh man, it's like get that old man back on Sports Center for a bit. Like he's got an Alabama highlight, dude. Put on the NFL primetime music. We got our Bama man making some big plays.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to happen. We're going to be making some big plays for 2025, especially with our defense. Because as we said, Alabama with the Voice College Football, defense wins championships.
Yes,
defense.
Like, both sides of the ball have to be great, but defense has to be the one constant. Your offense might have a shaky day. You have to have a good defense to win championships.
Agreed. Defense wins ball games all the way.